guys? I'm Adam Hack. We're back here with the Blind Merrill, and this is going to be a little bit out of chronological order because I had some clips that disappeared on me, and yeah, and when I went to the track I had another clip that disappeared on me. I don't know what's going on. I'll figure that out. Anyway though, so this video I'm kind of embarrassed to make because I screwed up. So let me get the part that I screwed up out, and I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you what happened. Alright, so right here was a perfectly good Calvert Racing transfer link or Caltrac bar. And as you can see, on this side there's a bunch of missing powder coat. This side is fine. So we were going to take my car on a Friday night test and tune to Dragway 42. We got over here, got the car jacked up. We were going to set the Caltrac bars, or the transfer links, whatever you would like to call them. And passenger side moved fine. The driver's side, however, did not move. So it's a little weird. What we ended up doing was we took the bar out and we put it on a vise, and we put the heim down in the vise, which destroyed the heim. And we just started spinning the bar, and we spun it to the point where we were like moving the bench, and you know, we were using a big nasty 1 1/8 inch wrench, because that's what size the hex is, 1 1/8. And it got to the point where we couldn't move it anymore, so we fired up this here torch, and we heated it up to the point where it was glowing, and used PV plaster, and it still wouldn't move. Shit. So I called up Calvert Racing, and I was like, hey, I need a transfer link and 2 heim joints. I still have 1 heim joint, it's completely fine, but the other one's trash. You got left and right-handed threads, and you know, at the time I didn't even know which heim joint it was that was messed up. So I was like, okay, I'll just get 2. Or in my head, I was thinking I'll just get 2. And they're like, that's $80. Oof. In my head, I said oof, not over the phone. And I was like, shit, while I got you on here, I need a set of wrenches, because I didn't have my own set of the Calvert wrenches that you use to adjust them. And so like, all right, $120. And I'm like, damn, all right. So I was over here in the shop, and I didn't have my wallet on me. I was like, do you got a minute? I was like, I'm in my, my shop. I need to walk back to the house to get my wallet and credit card and all that. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So in the course of walking over there, I was just bullshitting with the guy, and I told him what was going on. We never set the bar, and I remember just snugging up the jam nuts, which would be this here. I don't remember actually like going in there and tightening them tight. So, driving things causes harmonics, and shit comes loose, especially when it's not, as tight as it's supposed to be. So, I'm telling them this, and I was like, I haven't even had a sticky tire on it yet. We haven't even been to the track yet. And his name was Travis. And, well, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, though, he goes, you know what? You got those in January. I'm going to warranty them for you. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I'll just warranty it for you. Like, don't worry about it. I'm like, holy shit, dude, thanks. Like, I appreciate that. And so then I was like, well, I still need the wrenches, so here's my card number, blah, blah. He's like, don't worry about all that. I'll just throw the wrenches in the box. The truck hasn't left today. They should be, you're in Ohio. They should be at your house in about, 6 to 7 days, about a week. And they got here in 6 days. Hell yeah, brother. So, anyway, though, I was like, sweet, man, I appreciate that. I was like, what's your name? And he said his name was Travis, and he was a product manager. I don't know if he was the head product manager or he was just a product. I don't know what his official title is, but he just told me he was a product manager at Calvert Racing. And I was like, well, hell yeah, brother. I got a YouTube channel. I will give you a shout out because I freaking appreciate that. So basically what I wanted to get to is, you know, I screwed up, and I didn't lie to them. I told them I screwed up, like, you know, this is my fault. No fault of their own. I didn't ask them for a warranty. I didn't even know they had a warranty deal on these. Most of the time on race car parts, there's no such thing as warranty. You screw it up, you screw it up. But what I was getting at is Calvert Racing, like, I've called other manufacturers and used, you know, to ask technical questions, or, you know, because I needed parts, and they had okay customer service. Calvert Racing has exceptional customer service. You know, they're nice and friendly to talk to. But sometimes you get on there and you start asking questions, and you start getting answers like, you know, the guy will respond like, "Oh, great, I'm talking to a moron." And for the most part, when they're talking to me, they are talking to a moron. But anyway, though, that's what I was wanting to get at, is that, you know, Calvert Racing, if you have a leaf spring car and you're looking to go fast and not do any like crazy, you know, crazy, you know, aftermarket style suspension deals, whether that be like a 4-link, you know, which would be a very popular. If you're not wanting the back half of the car, you want to stick to a stock style suspension, Calvert Racing's where it's at. And if you have a pickup truck and you're having issues with wheel hop and stuff like that, Calvert Racing, they do make Caltrac bars that go on your pickup truck. So, second gen F body, Calvert Racing. S10s, Calvert Racing. Like, if you want a leaf spring car and you want it to go down, Calvert Racing, call them up. Like, hell yeah. And they got exceptional customer service, and I can't tell you know, I can't even explain how thankful I am for it. You know, it wasn't a huge amount of money or anything, but I work a lot of shitty hours and, you know, bust my ass for everything. And, you know, them standing by the product and hooking me up, that meant a lot to me. So I bought a new toolbox because I was outgrowing all my stuff, and it was to the point where it was just getting ridiculous. And the first sticker that went on said new toolbox was, make sure this is in frame good here, Calvert Racing. That was the very first sticker I put on there. So thanks Travis, and thank you Calvert Racing for standing by your product and hooking a guy up, you know, like me, that's a nobody. I really appreciate that. Now we're going to jump forward in time. We did take the car to the track. Video's live. You can see a very poor display of driving behind me. That night did not go as well as I would like it to, but it's seat time, it's experience, and in a stick car, that is also important, as experience. The takeaways from that is I bought my own set of ET Street R's, bias ply tire, stick car, bias ply, yeah. Because, alright, so I bought my own set of tires, so I have my own set of wheels, so we don't have to swap back and forth anymore. But using Garrett's wheel and tire combo, which what he bought for a 4th gen Camaro, I had to run my spacer because, and I do run the spacer on the street. And the reason I had to run the spacer was because the wheel, or not the wheels, but the tire was rubbing the leaf springs. You know, we did try to not run the spacer, but we were having clearance issues, you know, with the tire rubbing the suspension, and that is a no bueno. So had these big meaty nasty spacers on there, and they're 1/2-inch spacer. With my old rear end, my 10 bolt, it had all Moser stuff in it. I never had any issues. With this rear end, we're planting the tire a hell of a lot harder, but the car never really 60 foot, it never bit hard, so it kind of surprised me that happened. But I bent all 10 wheel studs on each side. So to remedy that problem, because I would like to go racing one more time again, I bought Moser studs. Them are what I had last time, and they worked flawlessly. Never had a problem with bending studs. And we 60 foot at 185, which is still bad 60 foot, but it's a hell of a lot better than 270. So that tells you, you know, we weren't hitting it hard. I bought my own set of slick tires, like I had mentioned before, so I can mount them on the wheels that are in the boxes way back there, and hopefully not have to run a spacer. If we do have to run a spacer, it'll be a much smaller spacer, you know, maybe not even 1/4 inch. And so yeah, not a huge problem. I'm glad I didn't snap them all off and the wheel go flying and the car is sitting on the ground like, fuck, what are we gonna do there? So that's what's going on. And then we're gonna notch the intake because I'm still having issues with the fouling of spark plugs. And I don't know if they'll be the remedy or not. I mean, obviously the carburetor's probably still a little rich. That's why we're having issues with the fouling of spark plugs. But I think also part of it is that it's not equal, because when I pull the 4 outside spark plugs, they look great. The 4 inside spark plugs, they look, I mean, they don't look great, the outside ones, but they're definitely not terrible. The 4 inside ones, they seem to be more dirty, per se. So I think that has something to do with it being a dual plane and things not flowing as equally. So we're gonna notch the intake, and it seems to be the newer style intake designs all have a notch in there for equalization. I don't have room for a carb spacer, but you know, the other fix would that be a carb spacer. Eventually I'm gonna get me a hood, and I'm still gonna run a carb spacer, just bigger plenum volume, all that good stuff. But for now, we're just gonna notch the intake. But yeah, anyway though, I'm not gonna knock Strange. Obviously everybody knows I have a Strange 9-inch, and Strange, they make great products apparently, from my understanding, and after doing some research, that other people have had issues with Strange 1/2-inch wheel studs. They're not terribly bent, but they're definitely, well, they actually don't look too, there's a couple of them that are like real bad, like when we're spinning them out, you just watch it whoosh. Yeah, this one here, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on the camera or not, but it definitely has a bow to it. So not gonna knock Strange. I think Strange makes some of the, you know, best parts in the industry. Brakes, everybody seems to have a real good time, and a lot of people run them. Their housings, I think, are exceptional. I think they have the, you know, some of the best housings on the market, if not the best housings on the market. S-Track differential and their third members, I think, are top of the line too. I went with Strange for a reason. It's because I believe in the products. Just after doing some research, it just seems like the Strange wheel studs, people have had issues with them, and part of it's my fault. Again, we were running a combination that wasn't optimal. We were running a 1/2-inch wheel spacer, and we were running conical lug nuts. According to Strange, you're not supposed to run any spacer or conical lug nuts. You're supposed to run shank lug nuts. I don't like shank lug nuts. They're a pain in the ass, especially to get started. However, I did buy a new set of lug nuts for the back of the car. They're conical, but they have a little shank that hangs off the end of it, just to try to hopefully mediate that problem. And I bought 2 sets of wheel studs too, just in case we ever have that problem again. I got another set of studs here, I can just throw it on there. So that's everything that's going on. I'm still in shock that these studs bent. Like, I was not expecting that, at the least. I would have never thought that we would have had that problem, especially, you know, being that those are nice, strong 1/2-inch wheel studs. But I'm definitely not the first person to do that after doing my research. So 273 subscribers. Thanks everybody for subscribing, liking, comment, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. So we're definitely gonna try to go one more time this year. I want to go one more time, or 2 more times. It all depends on the weather and the schedule of the track. But thanks for liking, comment, subscribing, all that stuff. We'll see you next time.